Hello and welcome to the Impact Zone podcast. We are back again to talk more TNA wrestling shenanigans. And, well, I want to talk about the old saying, no news is good news, because, well, this week we haven't got any new news. We haven't got any update on what's going down at Slammiversary. And I don't think that this is a good thing. I really don't think that this is a good thing, contrary to that old saying. I think it's very bad because even if we get it next week, which in my opinion, I hope that they bloody well do, because come on, that will be 2 weeks away from the show at that point. So, yeah, we really need to, that's why I was saying, already, even if they had have announced it this week, you're still got only a few weeks left to Slammiversary. You're not going to sell people on a show with one match announced. Yes, I know there's not that many, currently available tickets that they had for their initial sale or whatever else it is, but you guys, you need to fill that arena. Like I said, you need to bring some of that crowd down further. Fill up the seats that are closer to the ring or the area that people are actually going to be performing in than the rafters. You need to fill up that whole arena, that whole other side of the arena as much as possible. So, getting people to buy the lofty seats isn't really that worth it. You need to be filling out the arena as a whole more so. And so I don't really know where we're at with that. Though again, they haven't got very many tickets left in some ways, but then again, they've got a lot of tickets left in a lot of ways as well. So, because again, as I sort of said, the other half of the arena or whatever else it is, or the other third of the arena that they haven't opened up yet, they really need to think about actually selling those tickets. Again, so, but, yeah, obviously people are invested in some of the stuff that's going on, but you cannot keep going along. Like your regular fans, 100%, we're going to be following it week to week, month to month, whatever else it is, no matter what, for the most part. But you can't just keep saying, oh, we're not going to, I know you're trying to build it up, and I know what they're trying to kind of do, but it's not really working. Just announce the matches, because once you announce the matches, that's when you start going, okay, now everyone knows what we're going to get, when we're going to get it, how we're going to get it, why we're going to get it, etc., etc. It's not just, oh, well, we don't know what's going on and why it's going on or how it's going on or anything like that. It's still things are going on. So I want to try to make sense of some of this shenanigans, which I haven't been able to do. So why are they having a Knockouts Battle Royal next week to determine the number one contender at Slammiversary or whatever? I'm pretty sure it's at Slammiversary at this point. What's going on? Because, you've already got Killer Kelly there. You should have been making Killer Kelly the person to face Marsha or whatever else it is. Or you should have just had this Battle Royal, to determine it. Or why did you have the 841 or what, I don't know, what are you doing? This is what I mean. There's so much maybe they're trying to build a triple threat, maybe, I don't know. But again, that's not, I don't know, that's not really the way that you should be going about this. You should have just had, this is our plan, this is what we're doing. Maybe that was their plan and that was what they were doing, but like then they were like, oh well, we're bringing back Kelly and whatnot for reasons, and then she's going away again or whatever. Maybe she couldn't, uh, dedicate the time or whatever else it was to being there, like for that long or what. But dude, like I think she's doing stuff on the indies, so like you'd be getting better money and better exposure and better everything if you're on TNA. So I would say, hey, look, you need to make this your first priority and you need to drop some of that indie stuff. Like, like I would definitely drop a bunch of my indie stuff just to say, okay, cool, I'm doing this. Like I don't have the time to do this right now unless it's like paying really well. Like, then I'm just like, nah, come on, I need to do this. This is what I need to do. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. They had Ash by Elegance pin Marsha. So again, it sort of feels like, well, you're gonna go down that route at some point, maybe. I kind of feel like Ash would be a good champion. I kind of said this before, I think. But Marsha's reign, I like Marsha a lot, but I think her reign is kind of like really been a little bit poor of late. Like her best challenge was like when she was, or her best story and her best match was like with against Tessa. That was her best story that she's had while she's been like the champion, and that's really the only one that's like really stood out somewhat in this whole thing of her run. To have one good, really good story and one really good defense or whatever else it was, and one, like, she's had some decent matches, but that was a really good one. But yeah, they really haven't given her a whole lot to work with. Like, again, like, just give her Kelly and friggin' have them. You should have had them wrestle at Slammiversary. Like, why are you dancing around and trying to do this and trying to do that? And like, sometimes it makes sense to say, okay, we've got all these top guys. We've got Handream, we've got this person, we've got that person, we've got this person, that person, whatever it is. Like, we've got all these guys that are on our main event or semi-main event sort of picture. So we need to think about putting those guys into that position of saying, let's go do something. Let's get to the next thing or whatever else it is with these guys. But yeah, like, again, just, I don't know. It's just like, what's going on? There's no, like, I don't know. There's just like, maybe too many cooks in the kitchen here. I don't know what kind of is going on here. And I think it is bad because it is like casual fans, especially those fans that you kind of need to kind of get their attention of. They don't really, like, they might know that the Hardys are in TNA. They might know that, some of these people are in TNA or whatever else it is, like Elijah or Nick Nemeth or whatever else it is. But again, without seeing that card and that, without going, oh, who are they going to face off against? It's like, well, where's my level of interest? And you can't get that interested. Like, I know that there are a lot of people that do rock up the day of or whatever else it is. But again, for the most part, you need to get people being like, holy shit, there is a card to see. There is something to, and that's promotional as well. Like, a lot of us are out there trying to be like, hey, come and see the show, this is what you can expect to see. And without matches to kind of show people and say, hey, this is what you can expect to see, people go, oh, well, what's going to be on the show? Well, some of the guys in TNA, they're going to be on this show. And it's like, yeah, but we want to know the rivalries and the feuds and the matches and stuff like that. Not just, oh yeah, we're going to see some people. They're on the show. That's it. Like, and you can't have a one-match show, obviously. There's no way that's happening. So I just don't know. I just am very confused with, like, the booking of some of the things. Like, feels like the Elegance and that are, and the Inspiration are going to face off potentially. I think we already talked about that. But now, like, again, like, it still doesn't feel like that, like, perhaps they've decided. Perhaps that's the thing. Like, but that's what I mean by saying you need to decide. You just need to decide who is going in this main event, why are they going in that main event, who's coming out, and maybe it is an issue with WWE too, because maybe they want to be like, oh, hey, we want this or we want that or whatever else it is. So it's like, well, like, I don't know. So it does feel very frazzled right now with some of the things. And just no update whatsoever is just like, you can't do that. Like, maybe they'll update in the next few weeks or whatever else it is, or by next week or in the next few days. But yeah, no, this just isn't good. You can't sell a show on one match. There's a lot of stories kind of going along, but again, by saying this is what match you are going to see, you can still keep those stories going. At least people understand where things are going to be, or at least what matches to kind of expect. Like, Trick's going to defend the title against, or at least assumingly he holds onto the belt, at least we know or we think that he's going to defend the title, then and there, go on against whoever in a 4-way or in a 5-way or whatever else it is. Or we're going to announce however many people or who he's going to face or whatever else it is. So, yeah, I don't know, dude. It's confusing to me, and, like, I try to be very positive and say, like, where they're going the right way in some of these things, because it, like, obviously, as I sort of said before, like, I think it is the right decision to say, hey, we've got so many big names and whatnot in our main event picture. Let's try to, showcase as many of those people as possible. That is fine and fair enough. But without showcasing or without, saying, hey, this is what you can expect to see to the fans or to anyone, it's like, well, where's the promotion? Like, you can't promote anything, we can't promote anything, the wrestlers can't promote anything, and then when you get to 2 weeks away, it's like, well, that's really not a lot of time to be promoting some of these matches, like, and it's not a lot of time to really get into, like, really what's going on, because suddenly, oh, it's just here now, it's next week, or whatever else it is. So it's like, yeah, I really don't know what they're thinking in that regard. So, but yeah, guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys sort of are in the same boat, and you kind of understand where I'm coming from, because you're watching the same product as I am every single week. And I was, willing to give them sort of like the benefit of the doubt or whatever it was or whatnot, and they might announce something or whatever else it is on Twitter or on Facebook or whatever else it is, just on social media or something. And maybe it will come out, it might as well come out after this that I've just posted and I'll look like a bloody idiot. But, like, again, that's where you actually just need to have posted it already, guys. So, like, it really should have already been out there, like, again. So, and I'm recording this fairly late for me, really. But it'll go up earlier. Anyway, it was just as quickly as I can get it up there. But yeah, guys, I do enjoy a lot of the stuff, but again, like, without, like, a lot of context and without, like, knowing where we're going, it's like, it is interesting in some ways, but it is also like, well, we really need to know where we're going. Let's decide where we're going so that we can promote it. So yeah. But yeah, guys, hope you've enjoyed this episode and hope you'll join me again in another one.